to UFC 318 after we chat with Cam Bennett. He is fighting this coming weekend on Island Fights. Dave will be there as well, so let's bring him on. Hey, Cam, what's up, man?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm sorry my intros are not as good as Dave's.
That's fine.
Super pumped to have you, man, and get to chat with you. Obviously, like, I think the last time we talked, was right before your last amateur fight, right?
I think so. It was either that or my pro debut, right before my pro debut, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. So just tell me a little bit about this transition. I know you've had have all of your fights been on Island Fights? So you had a few of your amateur fights on some other shows as well, correct?
Yes. I had a couple of fights, different organizations. I mean, my last pro fight was at Empire, which those guys know the Island Fights guys pretty close. So I think Dean and them kind of helped with getting me on there.
Nice.
But I'm glad to be back with Island Fights, especially in a venue like the Hard Rock. Kind of feels like it's meant for me. So
Yeah,
glad to be back.
absolutely. Island Fights always puts on an amazing show. I feel like just being there, watching these amateurs fight at venues like Island Fights has, and just on these cards that Island Fights puts on makes me a little jealous because there were definitely some pretty sketchy venues in my amateur career. But they really do put on a great show. Just talk to us about this transition from having so much of your amateur career with Island Fights and moving now onto their pro cards. How does it feel different, or do you feel like it was a very easy transition since you've been part of this organization for so long?
I would say it was almost no different for me personally. I mean, Island Fights kind of prepares you for that bigger stage already. My debut as an amateur was in the Bay Center. So you get that experience right from the jump. So you get used to those lights, the big screens, all that stuff. That kind of feels like, I mean, they do it for the professionals, and you're getting it as an amateur. You're not fighting in a back alley or in the Burger King parking lot, but you're fighting on those stages that get you ready for the UFC and those bright lights. Like, if you're trying to jump up into higher promotions, PFL, all that stuff, you're not like shell shocked, I think, as much. I think the biggest difference, and I said this before my pro debut, was just the reaction from everybody else. Nothing changes from me. Still the same hardworking kid that's just trying to win the next fight and move forward. Nothing's changed in my work ethic. Nothing's changed in my approach, except maybe I think I work harder each and every time and find another degree of pushing it that you didn't know you had before. But the mindset, the mentality, the thought process that, hey, I'm just Cam Bennett, is still the same. But I can definitely tell around me, people have definitely picked up on, you're not just a 1-0 pro. You're looking to hopefully be 3-0 by the end of this weekend, and looking to wrap up another finish. So you're getting closer and closer to that shot at the show that you want.
Absolutely. And you're staying so active too. Like your last fight was what, just 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, I fought April 11th in Mandeville, and then I got the opportunity to grapple freaking TJ Brown from the ex UFC fighter. Yeah, I mean, awesome opportunity. I mean, that was like a win-win situation for me. As long as I don't go out there and get buzzsawed in like a minute and a half, like that's a good experience for me. I mean, he's 10 years older. He's a black belt, and he's a legit black belt.
Experience too.
A
Yeah.
lot of experience, UFC submissions. Not everybody in the UFC's got submissions and also is a black belt. So, if I can hang with him, give him problems in certain areas, it's just a matter of time before I'm up in the show giving people there a real problem. So It was awesome experience, and now I'm back. Another fight, ready to get busy.
No, I love to see it. I love to see young guys being able to be so active. I think sometimes it's difficult on the regional scene, and this is something I love. I love how Island Fights takes care of just this huge group of prospects in the area and make sure that they can stay active and that they can develop their careers properly, because I do think regional MMA as a whole has kind of died off in the last like 5 to 10 years. We really aren't seeing as many regional shows or as many pockets of fighters in different areas. So it's great to see. And I feel like this is this next fight's a great opportunity for you to show that even more. Your last opponent, 1-2, 3 professional fights, a lot closer to your record of 1-0. Now making this jump to fighting a guy like Charles Bennett. I know he doesn't have the best record, but the dude has over 70 professional fights. That is so much cage time, so much experience. How do you feel just preparing for a totally different kind and level of opponent?
Yeah, fighting my third cousin twice removed. I mean, it's no big thing. I think a lot of people see the poster and see the wacky things he does, see the things he posts on Facebook, the way he acts. And it's so easy for a fighter and just for somebody that doesn't know to look at him and go, oh, yeah, Cam's just going to obliterate him. Like, whatever. Like, look past him. And as I was saying on an interview like a week ago, he's still got 31 pro wins. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot more than the vast majority. I mean, he's been in there with people like Uriah Faber. I mean, you fought in Pride. Like, that's crazy. So he doesn't have the nerves of stepping in a ring. Like, it's no big thing to him. You fought 70 times. Like, what is it to step in there and do it again?
Right.
But on the other hand, it's, I respect it, and it's awesome to get the opportunity against a legend, but you got to have a little bit of respect, but you got to also go out there and show what you're about. Everybody gets so caught up into the show. I think I've watched a lot of pros fight him and veterans, and I think they get caught up either kind of selling the fight or just get caught up with the fact that it's Charles Bennett. Everybody's like, whoa. And they kind of just stand there with him. They just like get caught in mirroring him, not moving, not doing what they usually do. And that's not me. I mean, I'm going to respect him, but there's a new era, there's a new time, and it's my time. There's a new Bennett.
I love that. There's a new Bennett. And I think you speak really, really intelligently about this fight. I agree. A guy like Charles Bennett he's a very unusual fighter. He does a lot of he does things wrong that work. He does things you shouldn't do. He does things that you just don't expect him to do. So what is it like preparing for that style specifically? And like, who's been helping you out, and what have you kind of seen in his game that you need to be prepared for?
I mean, I had Trey come at me like a wild man, so that was funny. He's a pretty good Charles Bennett. I mean, he's bigger and better grappler. But I think the biggest thing is be smart. No accidents. We talk about no accidents. It sucks to be the better fighter and then you get caught because of an accident because your hand placement wasn't correct or anything like that. And that's what Charles is going to do, is throw loopy shots, big overhand, big uppercut. He's going to try and catch me in those transitions if I'm sloppy. So, be disciplined, be sound. And I think the fluidity that I want to show is going to kind of give him problems. And the grappling advantage is in my ballpark if I want it there. If I want it there, I'm going to take him down. I mean, he's not going to stop me. He can try. And I'm just going to do what I want to do. I think this fight's more so about me showing my full package of what I have. I've shown fights where, like this last fight that I had, I mean, I took the guy down like 4 or 5 times, melted him. You could just see the will of that fighter leave and not want to be there anymore. And the submission came like nothing. You've seen me in the clinch just cause damage in my first pro fight. I've shown that I've got distance, but it's time to marry everything and show that I have the full package. And this is kind of like my coming out party to do that.
Yeah, I love it. I think you've got a good mindset going into this against a guy like Charles. So you said that you're the true Bennett. You're the new Bennett. Charles is known for his post-fight celebrations. You know, you always get a crazy flip off the ring or anything like that. Can we expect a big Cam Bennett celebration?
No, you always think about celebrations, and then like I just get hit with so much adrenaline that it just goes out the window. There's no chance of me doing a backflip because I feel like I'd actually injure myself. That'd be the last fight you ever saw me in, is I broke my neck because I did a backflip or attempted one. So who knows what's gonna happen. I really want to just go in there and show like it's no big thing. He's a legend in the sport. I respect him a ton. I respect his team. And it's awesome. Like, it's an awesome opportunity. I'm just very grateful to Charles for giving me the opportunity. But I want to go in there and handle business and act like you've been there, because this is not, I say this every fight, this is not the pinnacle. This is not my pinnacle. The pinnacle of my career is not going to be the Battle of the Bennetts at Island Fights 90. It's not going to be the next fight. It's going to be me getting into the UFC and me making that path towards a championship or whatever my career holds. But 3-0 is not the pinnacle. And fighters just get wrapped up in that and they get complacent. And then that's when they get absolutely annihilated the next time. So I'm not satisfied. I'm just going to be hungry afterwards. So that's kind of the goal, is to go in there, handle business, act like you've been there, say your words, move on to the next one.
You got a hater in the comment section, Jonathan.
I've seen this guy lift before.
I think you might have to fight twice this weekend.
I'll put Jonathan in a headlock.
After you beat up Charles, you might have to go after John.
The walls of Jericho for Jonathan.
All jokes. Jonathan, I'm sure will be at Island Fights in person next weekend, doing all the post-fight interviews and crushing it as per usual.
Sure.
Speaking of that, the team behind Island Fights, Dave sent me a picture of the two of you.
Yeah, look at there.
So, tell me about that experience. Was that your first time on the mic?
Yes, it was. It was my first time ever commentating. And it was awesome. I mean, I've been like constantly badgering them over this, especially now that I'm on the pro scene. If there's a full amateur card, you might as well have a local guy who knows a lot of these fighters, trains with some of them, be on the mic. I mean, I know I'm not that good looking, but you don't have to see my face. You can just hear my voice talk about the fights. But it was a little like nerve-wracking at first. And then once you kind of get in the flow of things, breaking down a fight, something that I just love to do anyways. So it was awesome to be able to get that opportunity.
No, I definitely would love to commentate at some point too. I feel like this is a great opportunity for a lot of fighters that not a lot of fighters necessarily take advantage of. Getting into commentary and getting into the media side of things. So we definitely, hopefully, we'll get to see you. We'll get to see you again on the mic very soon, hopefully, for one of these cards. But before we let you go, we definitely have to go back. I know you love to watch fights. I'm sure you were watching Dustin Poirier's Last Dance, the whole moment that was UFC 318 last weekend. Just your impressions of this final fight for Dustin Poirier, how Max Holloway looked, what's next for Max. Give us the Cam Bennett rundown.
I think for starters, I'll cover Max and then I'll say Dustin. For Max, I mean, my goodness, he's a scary man at 155. and he looked big,
Yeah.
big. He looked big, but the thing is, I think he's only going to get bigger at 155. He's going to continue to fill in, and that was the thing I was saying going into this fight that I think was the biggest difference maker is the first two times. I mean, obviously the first fight was at 45, second fight, yeah, at 55, but Max had full intention of going back down to 145. Now Max is done with 145. So that's a scary problem to have. And I liked his call out of Ilya, but I think his next fight's probably, if I had to guess, Charles Oliveira. I think that would be the next move for Max Holloway. They kind of talked about it. They have passed because Ilya, I think you're kind of sitting there waiting to see if, I know Dana mentioned something about if Islam wins at 70, maybe you see a super fight there and stuff like that. And also, I just think that Max maybe needs one or two more before he gets a shot at Ilya again, because the way Ilya won was kind of I would say Charles Oliveira too is the next one.
Yeah.
And then because Arman, you're sitting there, I don't know who you give Arman if you don't give him a title shot. I really don't know. So I would say Max. Max looked great. He looked fast, big. And I mean, I'm a Max super fan, so I'm glad to see him win. But Dustin Poirier, I guess Saturday nights where all real men cried. It's like, you watch this guy. I mean, we're entering a time where, for me, I'm watching a lot of guys that I grew up watching start to retire. And it's tough to see that, just to experience that, especially with somebody with Dustin. He's such a role model, I think, for all fighters. I think if you need somebody to look towards, he's one of them. That is the best retirement I've ever seen in the UFC and MMA. MMA is an unforgiving sport, especially for retiring fighters. I mean, we see so many fighters get fed to hungry guys, and they're just kind of like stepping stones for the next generation. But to watch Dustin Poirier go out on his terms, even though he I think he has a couple fights left in him, but to go out on his terms, just to be a dad, to do other things in life is just amazing. And it shows, I thought the fight really was a summation of his career. I was talking to my dad about it because we watched it at the house. And it was just one of those things where, there was multiple times he got knocked down in the fight. He got knocked down in his career multiple times, but he battled back, fought and scrapped tooth and nail to get back to, into the fight. And potentially he thought it was 2-2 going into that fifth. And I thought it was close. I mean, I would have had it 48-47. I didn't think it was 49-46, but that's just my opinion. I thought it was a little closer.
How did you score the second round? Because that, I think, is the most difficult round to score by far.
I think I had it Max just because it was I think I was leaning Max, but also you could flip a coin. I mean, it's one of those rounds where it's like, okay, you both got dropped. Like, what do you?
I think the argument is maybe Max was saved by the bell while Dustin was able to recover. You kind of get like the recency bias of the round, whoever wins the last part of the round. But I don't disagree with your logic of giving it to Max either.
Yeah, I would 1,000. That's where I get caught up. It's like, yeah, but Dustin's on the guillotine. Jump in the gilly. Don't be silly.
Oh my God, we were freaking out. I was like, this is how it's supposed to end.
Yeah, I saw he had made a comment, and I thought it was hilarious. And if Dustin sees this, like, hey, Dustin Poirier, huge fan. But I saw he said something about he put a bronze statue of his jumping a guillotine in his front yard. I think he should still do that, but be awesome for the neighbors.
The crazy thing is I'm pretty sure he gets it in the gym all the time. Like, I've heard guys talk about it, and he like gets it in the gym all the time, just never quite got it in the cage.
You just can never get the cherry on top and get in the actual fight. I feel like fighters all have that kind of that move. I feel like, we got Colin Goodman at our gym. He's constantly throwing wheel kicks, but he'll throw the wheel kick in the fight and then fall on his face every time. That's just the MO now. Is like Colin's going to throw a wheel kick and then fall over.
Fighting's just different. I don't know what it is. There's it's so crazy. You'll see guys that are just world champion level fighters in the room that never can put it together in the cage. And then you'll see guys that struggle in the room, have fantastic performances, which obviously I'd rather be that guy. But it's such a crazy sport. But that's why it's the best sport in the world, man.
Exactly.
One last one for you before we let you go. I've kept you for about 15 minutes now. So
good.
Coming up this weekend, we talked about UFC 318. Coming up this weekend, we have what I am looking at as one of the best fight night cards of the year, I think, looking at Abu Dhabi and this main event between Robert Whittaker and RDR, who I think is a really interesting prospect in this division. Do you have an opinion on this fight? Robert Whittaker is beloved by all, of course, and has shown that he's still got it. I don't think he's making another run for the title, in my opinion, but I definitely think he's got some great performances left in him. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I think, first off, I thought when they matched up Bo and DeRitter, I didn't know if that was the best thing for that fight, because DeRitter is I think underrated. I think partially he's underrated in a sense, because nobody, the UFC is the UFC. So, you get those questions. Oh, you train UFC. People think the UFC is the sport. No, there's other organizations, the sport's MMA, blah, blah. You got to explain all that. He's a legit guy. I think he's got one loss on his career, as a pro.
I'm gonna pull up his record.
Yeah. I think he's 20-1 or something crazy. And I saw the matchup. I was like, man, that's a big jump from Paul Craig because he was also a champ and won.
20-2.
That's a huge jump. And his jiu-jitsu style is tricky. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to take down Robert. I don't know. Robert just coming off of that fight with Hamzat. DeRitter is not
and
going
Costa.
to.
He looked great.
Yeah, exactly. DeRitter's not going to shoot as aggressively as Hamzat. That's two different styles of grappling that you're dealing with. Is DeRitter's biggest problem is, can he get Whittaker to the ground? And I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Whittaker's now having another fight where the main point is control the distance. Hamzat's sprinting at you. He's sprinting at you. DeRitter's going to try and get close, tied up, all those things. And I just think it'll probably stay on the feet more than likely. And I think Whittaker will have the advantage there. I think I would lean Bobby Knuckles.
Love it. Love it. Man, you're fighting this weekend. Do you have anything else to let the people know that they need to come out to Biloxi, Mississippi at the Hard Rock Hotel? Please promote the event. Tell everybody where they need to be.
Yeah, the UFC is going on in Abu Dhabi, but the real show's on Friday night. What better venue? The Hard Rock Casino. And what better fights than Island Fights? Main event is phenomenal. Team Remedy's got 3 fighters, and we plan on sweeping it. We're all going to stay undefeated as well. John, Gunther, and Kayla. We're here to make a name for ourselves. We're here to put Remedy on the map. And we're here to get to the UFC. It's not just we're going to be regional superstars. We're about scrapping, and that's what's going to happen on Friday night. So, as always, I plan on putting on a show. You're either going to see a finish or just the most exciting fight that you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm looking to go 3-0, looking for another finish. All respect to Charles, but, I got to do what I got to do. and we can catch a Mountain Dew afterwards.
Love to hear it. So the real Bennett here, Cam Bennett, this weekend, Biloxi, Mississippi at the Hard Rock, guys. Definitely tune in. Island Fights always puts on a phenomenal show from the first amateur fight all the way to the main event. So thank you so much for your time, Cam. Best of luck to you. I'm really looking forward to watching you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all tune in on Friday, the real main event.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
All right. Cam Bennett is going to be fighting this